The Welsh Rebellion, spanning from the late 13th century into the early 15th century, represents a turbulent era in Welsh history marked by fierce resistance against English domination. The roots of the rebellion are deeply intertwined with the conquest of Wales by King Edward I of England, whose military campaigns in the late 13th century fundamentally altered the Welsh socio-political landscape. In 1282, the death of Llywelyn ap Gruffudd, the last sovereign Prince of Wales, at the Battle of Owain Bridge, signaled the end of an era for Welsh independence. Edward's subsequent conquest was brutal and comprehensive. The construction of a series of imposing castles across Wales, including those at Caernarfon, Conwy, and Harlech, symbolized English authority and served as strategic military outposts to suppress any potential uprisings. These fortifications not only exemplified the strength of Edward's rule, but also stood as daily reminders of subjugation for the Welsh people. The imposition of English law and governance disrupted the traditional Welsh way of life. Lands were confiscated and redistributed to English lords, creating a sense of injustice and economic hardship among the native Welsh. The Statute of Rhuddlan in 1284 codified English control, dismantling the Welsh legal system and imposing English administrative structures. This led to widespread resentment and discontent as the Welsh nobility and commoners alike found themselves marginalized in their own land. The first major rebellion against English rule erupted in 1294 under Madog ap Llywelyn, a distant relative of Llywelyn ap Gruffudd. Madog declared himself Prince of Wales and led a coordinated uprising. The rebellion was fueled by grievances over heavy taxation and the oppressive policies of English officials. Despite initial successes, including the capture of Caernarfon Castle, the rebellion was ultimately crushed by Edward III's forces in 1295. Madog was captured, and the punitive measures that followed further entrenched English control. Over the following decades, sporadic uprisings and local resistance continued to flare up. The Welsh people, deeply rooted in their cultural and linguistic identity, harbored a persistent desire for autonomy. This simmering unrest set the stage for the most significant and well-documented rebellion, the Glendo Revolt. Owain Glyndŵr, a Welsh nobleman with a legitimate claim to the title of Prince of Wales, emerged as a charismatic and unifying figure for the Welsh resistance. In 1400, Glyndŵr's declaration of himself as Prince of Wales ignited a widespread and coordinated revolt against English rule. Glyndŵr's rebellion was driven by a combination of personal grievances, nationalistic fervor, and a deep-seated desire to restore Welsh independence. Glyndŵr's early successes were remarkable. He rallied support from various segments of Welsh society, including the disaffected gentry and peasantry. His forces captured strategic towns and fortresses, and he garnered support from influential Welsh nobles. The rebellion quickly spread across Wales, with Glyndŵr's forces conducting guerrilla warfare and employing hit-and-run tactics against the better-equipped English forces. One of Glyndŵr's most significant achievements was his ability to secure international support. He formed an alliance with the French, who were eager to weaken England during the ongoing 100 Years' War. This alliance brought French troops and resources to Glyndŵr's cause, bolstering the Welsh resistance. In 1404, Glyndŵr held a parliament at Harlech Castle, where he was formally crowned Prince of Wales and established a Welsh government in exile. Glyndŵr's vision extended beyond military conquest. He sought to establish an independent Welsh state with its own parliament, legal system, and education system. His ambitions included the creation of 2 national universities, one in the north and one in the south, to promote Welsh culture and learning. Glyndŵr's leadership and strategic acumen inspired widespread loyalty and admiration among the Welsh people. However, the rebellion faced significant challenges. The English crown under Henry IV and later Henry V launched relentless campaigns to suppress the uprising. The English forces adopted a scorched earth policy, devastating the Welsh countryside and cutting off supplies to Glyndŵr's forces. The construction of new castles and fortifications, combined with the deployment of seasoned English troops, gradually eroded Glyndŵr's territorial gains. Internal divisions and the sheer difficulty of sustaining a prolonged rebellion in the harsh Welsh terrain also took their toll. By 1410, the rebellion had begun to lose momentum. Key strongholds were recaptured by the English, and many of Glyndŵr's supporters were captured or killed. Despite these setbacks, Glyndŵr remained defiant, refusing to surrender or negotiate with the English. By 1415, the rebellion had largely dissipated, though Glyndŵr himself remained a fugitive, never captured by the English. His disappearance became the stuff of legend, with some suggesting he lived out his days in hiding, while others believed he died in battle or exile. The rebellion's failure marked the end of major Welsh resistance to English rule, and Wales was fully integrated into the English legal and political framework. The aftermath of the rebellion saw the displacement of many Welsh people. The conflict had devastated large swathes of the countryside, leading to economic hardship and social upheaval. Those who had supported Glyndŵr faced retribution from the English authorities, resulting in confiscation of lands and properties. Many Welsh nobles and commoners alike were forced to flee, seeking refuge in more remote areas or even beyond Wales borders. Despite the rebellion's failure, the legacy of Glyndŵr and the Welsh resistance endured. The sense of Welsh identity and pride in their heritage remained strong, fostering a cultural resilience that persisted through centuries of English dominance. Glyndŵr himself became a symbol of Welsh nationalism and resistance, celebrated in Welsh folklore and history. In the long term, the rebellion had a profound impact on Wales. The harsh measures imposed by the English crown, including the Statute of Rhuddlan in 1284 and subsequent legal restrictions, gradually eroded Welsh autonomy. However, these same measures also fostered a sense of unity and national identity among the Welsh people, which would later inspire movements for cultural revival and political autonomy. The Welsh Rebellion, particularly the Glendo Revolt, stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of the Welsh people. It highlights the struggles and sacrifices made in the quest for self-determination and cultural preservation. While the immediate outcomes were often harsh and repressive, the long-term impact was a strengthened sense of Welsh identity and a lasting legacy of resistance against oppression. In conclusion, the Welsh Rebellion against English rule was a complex and multifaceted conflict driven by a deep desire for autonomy and cultural preservation. From the fall of Llywelyn ap Gruffudd in 1282 to the Glendo Revolt in the early 15th century, the Welsh people demonstrated remarkable resilience and determination. Although the rebellion ultimately failed to achieve its immediate goals, it left an indelible mark on Welsh history and identity. The spirit of resistance and the quest for self-determination continue to resonate in Wales, reminding us of the enduring legacy of this tumultuous period.